All right, so welcome to Hospitality Branding 101. I mean, I just had such a lovely time watching those beaches. I don't know about you, but it's been a while since I haven't been to one of those beaches. Those are some of the beautiful beaches of Antigua. It's one of the projects that I had so much fun working on, and I'll let you know more about that. But if you're joining us right now, let us know how is the audio, how is it sounding. We're really going to have a fun time. I want to take this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Joshua Stewart. I am part of the coordinator of this hospitality branding webinar. I am saying that this is something I've been planning for quite some time, and I'm really excited to get this going. This episode is going to be sponsored, as most episodes, by Vivid Consultancy Group, as well as our guest speaker is one of the sponsors for this episode as well, which is going to be Visuals Graphic Design Agency. You're going to hear more about Carlton just as we get into it. But I want to just share with you what can you expect in this webinar. So just let me share my screen so that I could give you an idea of what you could really expect. So this first series is going to be 4 weeks. 4 weekly episodes where we're going to be breaking down some of the hospitality branding 101 elements that you want to be able to capture. Some of the things you might know already, and we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but we're just trying to remind you of some things that you should already be doing. And for whatever reason, let's say you haven't done so yet, here is an excellent place to start. And we're hoping that we'll be able to point you in the right direction. In the first week, which is this episode, we're going to be focusing on celebrating your uniqueness as well as in color. I say that because I'm going to be separating some of the things that you want to look at in terms of what makes your property unique. And then we're going to get into some specific branding items as it relates to color. The second week, we're going to be looking at finding your niche and your font. As well as we get into the third week, we're looking at connect your hotel and logo with emotions. And you want to be able to connect with your guests. And we're going to touch that. And the fourth week, we're going to look at how do you share the moments. And that's really touching in some of the things about social media, about merchandising, and where you're going to bring all those elements together. So I want to break down some of these things for you. So first and foremost, who am I? Who is Joshua O. Stewart that is doing this hospitality branding, that is asking you to come on this journey with me? My name is Joshua Stewart, as you recognize there. I have over 15 years in sales and marketing. One of the first areas that I focused in was in retail, and then I moved into telecommunications. And since then, I've worked with a range of industries, but I would say predominantly in telecommunications as well as hospitality. So why am I doing a free hospitality webinar? I'll tell you where this started for me. About 7 years ago, while working as the sales and marketing manager with a telecommunications company in Antigua, we took on a project of creating or revamping a tourism channel. And that project led us to go around the island of Antigua, meet a lot of the hospitality providers, and we were able to create quality video content for them, as well as capture some of the I would say the guest properties, the things to do, the tours of the entire hospitality industry in Antigua. And there's where my passion for hospitality really started. And from there, I've kept very close to a lot of the guests, the property owners and the restaurants, as well as just some of the other providers in the niche over the years. And I've continued to give different support in terms of marketing, in terms of branding, and so on. About 4 years ago, my wife and I moved to Tobago, another beautiful island that focuses on hospitality. But one of the things I recognized is that there's a lot of persons that understand how to run their business, but it's not always connect all the dots as it relates to marketing and branding. And that's where I thought this was an opportunity to be able to share in that niche. So what can you expect? Every week, my goal is to invite industry professionals that can contribute in a meaningful way to stakeholders in that regard. In addition to that, we're going to be doing or giving away tools that could be useful to our hospitality providers. We're also going to be giving away at the end of every series, which is usually going to be 4 weeks, a free managed hotel booking website. And that's going to be sponsored by Vivid Consultancy Group, which means we will, if you don't already have a website or one that is, I would say, direct booking, we're going to meet with that particular winner and we will design a new website for them. We will make sure that it connects with the OTA. They could have direct booking, connect it with their online payment gateway, and make sure that it syncs with their branding as well. So that's a value of over 2,000 US. So right there, you're getting off the bat, as much as this is a free webinar, it's not that you're getting less value. It's that this is already being sponsored, as I said, by my consulting agency. It's not going to be spammy. There's no one along this journey is going to be selling you something and is going to be telling you, hey, you know, you get this, but for you to get that, you need to buy this. No, there will be no upselling of any services. We're going to try to provide to you value. We're going to bring in professionals that is going to be able to share in their niche. These are individuals I've worked with for years, and I've asked them to come and contribute their time. If you find some value and you want to be able to use some of those services, great. Along the way, I will make some recommendations. I'm not going to be forcing anyone to purchase anything. If there is an affiliate that I work with, sure enough, I may use an affiliate so that in the event that you choose to use that service, I may get a small commission, but outside of that, it's not going to cost you anything extra. So I'm just being very transparent upfront so you could understand what you can expect. But again, if you're hearing me clearly, just let me know that you're hearing me. Thank you, Catherine, for being in. Ingrid, thank you for joining and letting me know you're hearing me loud and clear. If anyone else is hearing me, just put a greeting in the comments so I know you're hearing me clearly. Now, how do you get the best out of these webinars? And this is going to be very important for that you could understand what will be the best way to connect during these webinars. Thank you for letting me know you're hearing me good, Catherine. The first thing is schedule some time to join the live sessions. We are super busy. And I mean, with what's happening with the lockdown, a lot of markets are recovering. A lot of persons are monitoring. Here in Tobago, our airports are going to be open probably in a week or two. And one of the things I would mention as well, I also manage a property. So just to give you some context, I'm not just a professional in terms of marketing. I also oversee a property here in Tobago. So I understand some of the challenges that hospitality providers go through because I manage a property. I go through the same challenges that you go through from both sides of it. So as much as I develop websites and I do marketing, I also manage a property. So I'm managing those expectations as well. So try your best to schedule. We're trying to keep these webinars about half an hour to 40 minutes, depending on questions and so on. So we're not trying to take a lot of your time. However, we know things happen and you may not always be able to join these webinars. So what do we recommend that you do? Sign up for the webinar. So I'm going to put a link in the comment right now. Now, there's some persons that went to this link, I would say before Friday. It's only at that time I recognized that there was a slight challenge with the link. So if you registered before Friday, I'm just going to ask you again to just revisit the link and register for the webinar. Which what this allows me to do is have your email address, that at the end of the webinars, we may have certain tools, certain resources, and I can summarize that information and send it to you in a way, in the event that you missed it, that you will get a full package of the information. And as much as possible, I'm going to try to kind of cut it down. So I might have gone through a lot of the introductions and so on in this session. In the version I will email to you, I will summarize that so you could get all the information you need in one email. So just visit the link, register for the webinar so that you could get weekly reminders, tips, and so forth coming out of each session. The second thing that I would encourage you to do is join the hospitality group that I've created. Now, what's the purpose of this group? Here is where I want to be able to share and allow the industry in this particular group to able to help each other. You might be working on a new website for your property. Maybe you're thinking about doing a new marketing campaign. Maybe you're just thinking about a strategy in terms of how do I reach people in my niche? How do I develop as a let's say a wedding destination? Here is going to be the place where you could kind of ask a question and where we're going to be able to share. So join the group, be willing to commit to sharing advice, and be open to asking questions. So this will be the place where you will be able to get support along the way. So if you haven't joined the group yet, click on the link even right now while I'm going through and join the group. I will get your approval and I will approve it once I'm able to review that. So last but not least, I want to take an opportunity at this time to introduce our guest presenter that will be going through this first phase with me. And his name is Carlton Lindow. He's a creative director for CJL Visuals Graphic Design Agency. I've personally worked with him probably for the last 2 to 3 years on a few projects. And I must say, he just understands branding and graphics and everything that relates to that. So I couldn't have asked for a better person to join me on this first session to just go through this topic of hospitality branding 101. So I'm just going to bring him into the discussion at this time. So welcome, Carlton, and just let our guests know who you are. Tell us about CJL Visuals. I'm getting a slight feedback, but I'm hoping that it improves as we go along. But that's fine. We'll work with the technology.
Try to sort that out. Hey, Josh, thanks for having me. Super happy to be here. My name is Carlton Lindow from CJL Visuals. We are a graphic design agency. We've been up in Richmond for like, I want to say 10 years plus, 10 years going on. We try to help small and medium businesses grow their sales and branding through modern designs. And like I said, I'm just really happy to be here and to hopefully help entrepreneurs grow their business a little better. And I'm not hearing you.
Oh, thank you. I was just muted there. We are here to share what we know. We don't know everything. And the reason why I love doing these sessions because I learn so much. I'm going to learn from you and you're going to learn from us as we go through this journey. One of the things Catherine mentioned is that she's new to the hospitality industry, and that's fine. And here's a good place to start, because if you're new in the industry, it's a wonderful time to kind of figure out what do you want and how do you going to make your place in the industry as we go along. So Carlton, my second question to you, because you have a lot of clients that come to you, they ask you to help them about their branding, and they probably have a new promotion, they're probably launching a new restaurant, and they say, hey, I want to get a new flyer, I want to get a new menu for my restaurant. What would you say is one of the most misconception new clients have about branding?
Misconceptions about branding. A lot of people feel like their logo is the brand. And from time they have a logo, that is the branding, that is the brand, and that is it. The logo is more of a symbol to that represents the brand. The brand is what people feel when they see the logo, what they think about. So that is a big misconception. People feel they get a logo, like this is the brand, I'm finished here. That is kind of just where it starts, really.
Excellent. So this, as much as we're going to be going through just a few concepts here, this is a very free-ranging conversation. If you have a question, anything that you would like to ask in respect to your branding of your property or branding in general, just ask the question in the comment. And as we have some space between each session, we will look to answer that. But just before I get into that first presentation, Carlton, I know you have a giveaway as well that you want to share with persons that are joining the hospitality branding first session. Tell me about what you're going to be giving away to persons that, especially, there's someone that is now starting their business. They're probably now launching. What is something that you could give to our webinar attendees for this session?
Like I will tell everyone, so the first thing when you're getting started, the best thing is to do is probably put out an ad on Facebook or Instagram, or both ideally. The rate's really good and the return for investment is always really good, I think, compared to radio and TV right now, especially. So with that in mind, we're giving away a social media graphic. It could be an ad, could be a promotion, it could be, anything they want, really. If you was to go to our page, CJL Visuals, you will see some of the amazing flyer designs and social media graphics that we created in the past. So,
and I could see that already here. I mean, you guys really understand branding, from product photography, from events, logos, motion graphics, and so on. So very simple. If you want to win your social media graphic designed just for you from Visuals, all you got to do is go to Visuals Instagram page. I'm going to share that link in the comment right now. So just go to Visuals Instagram page, and all you got to do is click on any one of their promotional artwork or any one of the Instagram posts that you see, and simply type the hashtag, and I'm going to be posting that right now, hashtag branding 101 giveaway. So that's all you got to do. Hashtag branding 101 giveaway. So that's in the comment section right now. Now, the giveaway don't stop there. Visuals would have helped us design some of our flyers. So the flyers you saw for this event was designed by Visuals. The second thing that we're going to be giving away, again, is a full management hotel website. This includes design of your new hotel website. If you don't already have one, this is you can't ask for a better way to start your hospitality bit. It doesn't have to be a hotel as well. It could be a restaurant, could be a tour operator that you have. So any type of hospitality particular business, we will be able to help you design that and host it for you for a year. But of course, you're going to get the biggest value as a hoteler, because we will also ensure that there's a booking engine that is commission free. You're not paying a monthly commission for it or anything like that. All of your bookings will be 100% yours. You will also include hosting for an entire year. You pay nothing for the first year, as well as we will ensure that your hotel website sync with your online OTA. So if you're with Airbnb, Booking.com, Expedia, we will make sure it's sync. All you got to do is go to the link, and I'm going to share that now, winhospitalitytools.com. Winhospitalitytools guestpresenter.com, and there are several ways to enter. Of course, you need to ensure that you have subscribed to our YouTube channel. So you're probably either on YouTube or Facebook right now. You could like or subscribe to any of our channels, and there are more ways to enter. You could either join our group, you'll be able to enter, sign up for a newsletter, or so on. So there's more ways to enter. Just go to the link, enter by submitting any of the actions, and at the end of the 4 weeks, this will automatically select a winner, and you could enter every day. Every day, the more times you enter, the more opportunity you have for win. We will automatically select one. I want you to notice something. This is not something we're just going to start and finish. I want you to notice how many days it says this promotion has. We're going to be running this for an entire year. Every month for 12 months, we're going to be giving away a hotel booking website, a managed website, or a hospitality website, depending on what particular niche you're in hospitality. We're going to be doing this every month. So every week, we're going to be providing value. And so this is the place to join. This is the place for you to be able to build your industry authority and understand and learn from persons that are going to be growing here. So I can't think of another place where you could really be able to share with each other. So there's a few things we want to share today. I know we had a longer introduction, but since this is the first session, we just wanted to get you up to speed as to what to do, how to get the best out of this. So I'm going to jump right into just my first presentation that's really talking about how you can really find your uniqueness in your industry. And then I'm going to invite Carlton to do a similar presentation, and then we'll wrap up. We'll answer any questions that you would have. So let me just get that started right now. I'm going to share my slide. Just let me know if you're seeing my slides and everything that there is fine. So the first thing we're really going to be looking at is just how do you celebrate your uniqueness in color? What makes you unique? That is the first question that you want to make sure that you answer. If you are in this industry, you decided to launch a hotel website, a villa, a restaurant, a tour, whatever it is, what makes you unique? What drives you? What are you passionate about? You want to start there, because people are going to connect with you because of who you are, not just what you do, because people will feel that energy when they come to your place of business. So you really want to start with what is going to make what you do different from everyone else. And I always want to say you're competing with yourself more than anything else if you start there. So are you located in some sort of historic building or some neighborhood? What do you have around your property that you could in some way connect with? Now, here is a Gemma Sea View kitchen, one in Tobago here. One of the things I loved about this is the way that Gemma was able to, there's a tree you could see in the middle of the restaurant. And instead of simply cutting down the tree, she just built around it, and that became part of the aesthetic. You know, is there some sort of historical site close by that you could ensure that you connect with it? What is it that you could really ensure that will make your property or your business stand out? So look at that, not just what is on the property, but maybe what is close to it. Or is there a friend or a colleague that runs up a business? Maybe there's some sort of historical park, and persons may want to have their wedding there. Can you connect with that and ensure that, hey, they could stay by your property, and you could plan and coordinate the wedding in this historical park, and you could market it as such so that it becomes somewhat of a wedding destination type property. But it's more than just the stay, because most persons are not just coming to either stay at your property or go to a restaurant or so forth. A lot of times they're looking at an experience. So sometimes they're looking for an escape. So thinking about what they're going to be doing when they're staying either at your property or they're going to be eating at your restaurant or taking a tour, it's going to be key. What can you do to make that experience memorable? The other thing that I would want to mention is what makes your decor stand out. It's amazing how the trending is changing today. Beforehand, if you had cable, that was fine. Now, what I find when guests comes to the property, they're asking, can I sync my phone and I could play YouTube to your TV? Or can I sync my audio that I travel with to your home theater system via Bluetooth? And these things are becoming normal. It's just an expectation that when I come to your property, or I come to your hotel or guest house or villa, that you probably have a smart TV that I could simply get access to Netflix and things like that. So before, these would have been really hard sell, or things that you would say is high end, but not anymore. Persons that come to the villa that I manage, they want a blender. They want to make sure there's a microwave. They want to make sure that there's an oven that they could bake their turkey with. And they want to know, do you have baking utensils? Do you have the things that I'm going to be able to get everything I need when I come to the villa? And so you got to be able to listen and understand what is it that is going to make the experience unique. And that could come with the decor that you have, or the technology that you're able to use, that's going to ensure that persons are going to have a memorable stay. I was just talking to a guest today, and the first thing she's asking, hey, is there a grill that I could use on the property? And luckily, we recently upgraded the pool area and got a new grill and so forth, so that persons can now use the grill when they come. And we normally would get cleaning items, and the guests may clean it after, but it's just normal now, and it's an expectation that you have. So you want to look at that. What type of amenities that you could have that's going to make it interesting and going to make your property stand out. And here's a good friend of mine, Jackie, from the Villas at Sunset Lane in Antigua. One of the things I noticed Jackie did recently, Jackie's a chef by profession. So when she launched her property, part of what made her experience unique is that she cooked for her guests, and she loves cooking as well. So she introduced what she called a culinary tour, a culinary day tour, so that guests that probably is just coming with a cruise, they could come learn how to cook a Caribbean fusion recipe, and they could actually cook it themselves while they're going through the guide with Jackie. And at the end of it, they could then eat what they cook. Hopefully it tastes great, but I know with Jackie guiding them, I'm sure it probably came off well. And now that becomes something that is unique. It's different. It's more than just come in and stay. It's that you could come and you could remember the experience of cooking with my family or my friends or so forth, and that they could learn a Caribbean fusion recipe while they're on the property. And I think that was just a simple example of how you could really use that. And, I'm going to get back to Jackie's example as we talk about color. So here's a good segue where I'm going to look to hand over to Carlton. But just the thought I want you to have with everything that you're doing and trying to make your property stand out, remember to put the guests at the center of your decision making. Even though you love X or Y, you got to think, what will the guests want? Or even try to understand where are most of your guests coming from and what is their greatest need. And if you start there, you can't go wrong. And as you build what is going to make that experience unique for your guests, I think you'll be in a good place. All right. So, but today we want to even get a little bit technical about branding as it relates to color. So we're talking about uniqueness. So I wanted to just mention some things in general of how you want to think of your property being unique. But another way in how you could stand out is with your color, the color of your property and how you're using. But how do you decide what color you should use in your branding? And here's where I'm going to really turn over to Carlton to walk us through this experience as it relates to your color in branding. So Carlton, I'm going to really turn over to you here. Um, I'm gonna I've unmuted you, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you take it from here, and I will come back once you're finished with your piece.
Okay. If you could bring up the graphic full screen, that would be great.
All right, no problem.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay. So, firstly, color is a very exciting topic, but it's quite a big topic as well. Um, so today we kind of just focusing on one key aspect, which is color symbolism and what that means, right? So, firstly, when you're thinking about color, you should always start with the color wheel. It's a nice reference point, for everything color basically. So specifically today, as an example, we're looking at the two sides of the color wheel, one being the warm side and the other side being the cool side, right? That's the two basic sides. Your reds, your orange, and your yellows. That is the warm side. And the cooler tones is your blues, your purples, your green, kind of like darker greens, like in the example here. All right, so if we could dive into the warm side a bit more, these colors are more associated with, being more energetic, more outgoing, more fun, they kind of demand attention, right? So you think about um, important signage when you're out in the world. So your stop signs, your exit signs. When you get an important prompt on your phone to delete something, it's always bright red. It kind of demands your attention specifically, right? And it also invokes a very strong emotion in us as humans, right? So, there's a lot of different use cases for red. So a very interesting one is completely opposite to important signage and stuff like that. It's also known to increase appetite, right? So again, it's all very contextual and how you use it and how you place it and stuff like that. So you'll find a lot of businesses, food places tend to use red, in their branding, in their logo design, within the decor to kind of, if it does increase appetite, then it goes from being just conceptual and being a nice color to having real monetary value as a business, right? So like if you was a business owner or a restaurant owner or something like that, maybe thinking about changing the decor to have some red in there, red carpet, or maybe the chairs or something, you could actually have a financial benefit from doing something like that. But again, it's all very contextual and it depends on how you use it. But they use it in a very intentional way as well. So you think about Netflix, they use it for something completely different. They use it to grab attention. So as soon as you hit the Netflix button, the chime comes on, and the logo comes up big, and then it's this big rainbow colors. I used to grab your attention to kind of put you in a mood to say, we're going to watch Netflix, time to relax, time to de-stress and all of that, right? So let me just go back here. On the other side of the spectrum, we have blue, right? The warmer tones, the blues again, the purples, the dark greens, and this is they're more calm, right? They're more reserved, kind of laid back in terms of how you feel when you look at them. Or when you look at them, depends on the context as well, right? So blue specifically, this is a color that is associated with trustworthiness, with innovation, right? It gives you a sense of like almost serene, right? So you will find that it's also dependable and kind of soothing. So you'll find that a lot of businesses, big faceless companies, will try to use blue in their branding when they're trying to not come across as so big and faceless and hard. They're trying to come across as trustworthy and trust us, come in, that type of deal. So you'll see a lot of companies that have to do with money or they're trying to sell you hardware. They would use blue to try to just convey that, right? A lot of banks and businesses as well You know, like trust us with your money, come in safe, it's a good environment. Think about Facebook and you know all this stuff you hear with Facebook taking your information, but yet blue because of you know what that um, yeah, what that invokes in us. So it is a lot of they use it in a very intentional way, just trying to I don't want to say manipulate, but they're using it to their advantage just to try to bring a sense of calm to these places that you know they're really all about their money and stuff like that. So that was just a small aspect of color. Yeah, Josh, you could bring me back up. Um, like I said, it's all contextual. Is a big topic, and this is just a small, a small. I can't overemphasize how small this is. So next time when you're thinking about, you know, starting a business or you have a business already, just think about how you could play on the business of your, play on the color of your business and play on, or if you're now starting a business, think about the colors more deliberately and, you know, how they invoke, what kind of feeling they could invoke in the customers, I believe. A lot of people think, you know, yes, my favorite color is pink. So I'm going to use pink for this calm, you know, safe and serene place. But it doesn't really work. You'll have a kind of uphill battle just, you know, mentally for the customer to connect with something like that. So just something to keep in mind as we move forward. Yeah.
Excellent. Let me ask the question though, Carlton,
Mhm.
in respect to let's say we are looking to let me use this example here that I had for you. Assuming I wanted to do a spa and I want to bring a sense of warmth and relaxation, what would be your recommendation as in respect to a color that I may want to be thinking about? And how does that tie in? Like if I already have a particular brand color, that is there a way I could use a different color without clashing?
Yeah, definitely. If you have existing colors already, a good way you could do that is you know using the same color wheel and you know um, just using that to find a contrasting color that will give you nice contrast, or maybe go in a monochromatic sense where you kind of use different shades of the same color just to kind of, especially if you're using a very bright red or something, you could use like a darker red just to kind of calm it down a little bit. So if you have existing colors, like all hope isn't lost or anything like that, you could still, there's a lot of different things that you could do to kind of, you know, bring it back to the place that you want to bring it to. So there's a number of different techniques that you could use. Right? Yeah.
Excellent. Secondly, what is an online resource you would recommend to get color inspiration? What would be one online resource you would recommend to get color inspiration that you've used or so on?
Oh, something that I use religiously is Adobe Color.
Okay.
Right, free. You go there. Um, they have a color picker, so you can upload the photos and they'll pull out the colors. They have trendy colors as well, different color scheme that you could use. You could even create your own color scheme from scratch. You pick your main color and then they can recommend colors that
So
harmonize well with
would
that.
this be the same? Would this be the same page here?
Yes, this is the page. If you could just hit, if you could X off that,
Okay.
and then you know you kind of choose your main color. The one in the middle is your main color. So whatever the color of your business, you choose that, and then it will give you nice complementary colors to you
Excellent. I
know.
could see as I move around,
Yeah,
it's complementing colors that will
yeah,
contrast that and so on.
yeah.
All
So
right,
this is
excellent. So I'm going to share this in the comments. So if there's someone that's looking for, are you looking for color inspiration for your brand? Here is a resource that you can use as well. Now, here's one that I have used over time, and this one is called Design Seeds. I think why I've used this is a way in how it uses images and different type of scenery that then brings in the color palette as well. So, for example, it have like this image here, and you're seeing where it's using the color palette to just give you a creative sense of how you might be able to use your color palette. So that's one that I've used, designseeds.com. And the second one I've used as well is coolers.com. It's allows you to generate different color schemes. Some of them is a little bit more random, as well as they could explore. But I really love your recommendation, and you could see you're such a technical sense, because this color wheel is motion and it's tied together, while this is a lot more random and things like that. And even though they may guess, this is a lot more scientific, even though it's creative. So I think this is a great resource. But I will share the other two as well. Now, just before we close, I wanted to bring up Jackie, for example. And here is Jackie's website, The Villas at Sunset Lane. And you could see off the bat what is Jackie's brand color. You're seeing that slight pink there, but another tool I use, and I'm going to share this as well, is a Chrome extension called Colorzilla. What I use it to do is to sample colors that I see and like online. So I see this color and I'm able to sample it, and I could go to somewhere like Coolers, and I might want to see, hey, what's that specific color? And if I paste the hex code, I could see, hey, that color is pink sherbet. So I could see the specific color, and I could also see different color scheme of that color, so that I don't necessarily need to pick the exact same color. All right, so these are just some tools that we have used as well, so to kind of give you an idea of how you could get color inspiration. You might already have started with a particular color, and you may want to know what's a complementary color to go with that. What might be your accent color? So you could use one of these tools to kind of get that color palette. So when you're looking now to create your website, your branding, your merchandise, and so on, that there's a consistency that you're using throughout. And Carlton will elaborate more on this as we go on in this webinar, but we're just about wrapping up now. I hope that you would have gained something. If you have any questions whatsoever that you may want to ask after the fact, you may have seen it after, a good place to do that is to join the group, the Facebook group. I would have shared the link prior, and you could ask a question then that you might have wanted to ask Carlton specifically. Maybe you wanted an idea or an opinion on a particular brand color that you're using, and maybe what is a complementary color. That might be something that you could just ask in the group, and we'll be happy to share. Or when we're about to do the next webinar, we could also address that. One other question, Carlton, just before we close.
Sure.
Is there any particular book that you would recommend as it relates to branding? Like what is a book that you would recommend as it relates to branding?
Oh, branding. I could tell you a book that you should read as an entrepreneur in general that kind of covers a wide spectrum,
Sure.
branding included, which is A Pocket Full of Dough by Christo. This is I read this all the time. It's great for all different aspects of.
And just repeat that for me. A Pocket Full.
A Pocket Full of Dough. By Christo. He's amazing. It's an amazing book for all entrepreneurs. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to share that in the link as well for anyone that is interested in checking this recommendation out. So I'm just going to put that in the link as well. So if there's anyone that's interested in that recommendation, you could always check that out. My recommendation is the one right in my background. I've just been reading that, and it's called Branding. It's called Branding in 5.5 Steps. I think this is a really good insight into branding, and just your just to get your mind thinking about your brand and what it means, and how to connect with your business with your customers and so forth. So that would be one of my recommendation. I would have shared that in the comment as well. So as we wrap up here, just as a reminder, if you're looking to win that free Facebook graphic, that visual will be offering to persons, and we will have this running throughout the week until just before our next webinar. We will select the winner in our next webinar, just before the next webinar. So you need to do that. So if you haven't done so, go to Visuals Instagram page. That's instagram.com CJL Visuals, and simply click on any one of the link and paste the hashtag branding 101 giveaway. If you want to win that free managed hotel website, just go to the page winhospitalitytools.com, and you could enter to register. This will stay open at least for this session for 4 weeks, and then we will be selecting the first winner, and then we will be continuing from that point. So at this point, we will be closing this particular session. I want to say thank you so much for joining us. If this has been useful to you, please definitely subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Facebook group, and share the link with someone. We're going to be meeting every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The session sometime will go half an hour, 45 minutes. As I said, today is a little longer because we were just introducing you to what to expect, what is it that we want to do, why are we doing this in the first place, and is it worth your time? And you're the one, as we go through today, would be able to assess that. We would love to get your feedback. Is there something that you would like to see us do differently? Is there something that you would like us to do to improve the webinar for you? We are very much so looking forward to your feedback. You could send me a direct email if you would like to. I'm going to share my email for persons that would like to connect with me. Visuals, I would like you to let the audience know if they would like to connect with you. Maybe they would want to get some professional services done beyond which not just getting a social media graphic, but they want to get some professional work done. So if you want to connect with me, you could send me an email at hello@joshuaostewart.com. I will also paste that in the comment so that you can connect with me. While I do that, Carlton, could you tell the viewers how can they connect with you? What's the best way to connect with you?
Yeah, the best way to connect with us is through our website, cjlvisuals.com.
All right, so let me just pull that up.
Yeah.
So that's cjlvisuals.com.
Yeah.
I mean, just a beautiful, simplistic website. It really shows the type of work that you really could do. So I'm going to put that in the comment. So if you want to connect with CJL Visuals, just go to their website. I've just pasted it in the comments, cjlvisuals.com. Anywhere else, anything else that they could do to connect
Instagram
with you?
As well. Instagram is, the fastest place as well. So,
all right, so go to the Instagram, DM you or so on, and you will be able to connect there.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so thank you everyone for joining. Catherine, we're definitely happy that you stayed with us through the end. Okay, I saw you got bumped off. Sorry about that, but it will be available on replay, as well as if you join the webinar group, just go to the webinar link. I will also be sending a more concise version of the replay as well, but you could definitely replay it on YouTube or on Facebook, whichever one works for you. So any last comments, Carlton, just before we close off?
Again, it was an amazing experience. Happy to be here, and I look forward to sharing a lot more in the coming weeks with you guys. Yeah.
Excellent. Same here. Thank you for joining us. We are committed to doing this weekly so that we can share with you. We have a lot of great speakers, industry professionals to come Carlton has a lot more to share with you. So definitely subscribe so that you could get reminders, ask your questions so that we could know what perspective in the industry you would like to know more about as it relates to marketing your business, as it relates to probably really leveling up as the market opens up. Now is the best time for you to position yourself for when the market reopens. And, this is the time for you to get to know your business well. It's a good opportunity to revamp your business, revamp your brand so that you could connect better with your guests. So thank you again for joining us, and we will see you in the next episode.